Manchester United have beaten Real Betis away 1-0. Not played overly well over the two games, but Manchester United have come away with a 5-1 aggregate scoreline. So you can't complain with that. We got the job done, as we know, in the first game. And the second game was about keeping it tight and playing it out, and Manchester United have nicked themselves a 1-0 win from a nice Marcus Rashford strike from a distance. Now, Manchester United put out a strong lineup for this game, and I thought he probably could have rested one or two more, but he hasn't done. It was a bit similar to that game against Nottingham Forest where we were 3-0 up from the first leg. I thought he could have maybe rotated a bit more there as well, but obviously he's concerned because the Premier League is dead on its arse for Manchester United, and he knows that he needs to really be winning or challenging to win these competitions to progress for Manchester United, because Manchester United should be winning trophies, and he knows that Manchester United have to be winning trophies, and if he wants to be successful, he needs to constantly be winning trophies. And this is a big opportunity obviously for Ten Hag to maybe challenge to win this trophy. We wouldn't be favourites, probably Arsenal would be, but it's still a chance for Manchester United to win another trophy, and he probably thinks that it may be along with the FA, maybe the FA Cup, I'm not too sure. One of them is obviously the best chance Manchester United have got of winning a trophy. So either or, and he probably feels that, but he still probably went a bit stronger than I would have probably gone. But Maguire and Lindelof did get minutes in this game. Obviously Palestri come on and started this game for Manchester United. There was no Sancho in the starting lineup. Rashford continued to play. Weghorst continued to play. Obviously there's players injured and that, so that is why some of these players are playing. I would have liked to see Rashford, Bruno Fernandes not starting this game, although I'm not the most, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of Bruno Fernandes, but Manchester United don't have many options in midfield at this moment in time. Number of injuries and concerns, so I wouldn't have played them too personally today. But obviously Rashford's got the goal. We didn't have to win the game, but it's always nice to win the game anyway, and luckily he's been taken off shortly after getting that goal. He has missed a couple of chances today. They've missed some chances as well. They hit the woodwork in the first half. Rashford's missed some sitters, Bloom one over the bar, but in the end Manchester United have got the job done. When we've gone 1-0 up, we've just taken the sting out of this game. Sabitz has come on. We need him to stay fit. Fred's gone off, and we need him to stay fit as well. We need all these players to stay fit, because we're not actually certain to get in the top four yet, Manchester United. We do need to keep winning our games, and we've got the FA Cup games as well. So if Manchester United can actually cement our position in that top four over the coming weeks when we get back to Premier League action, just to secure that, sort of almost mathematically secure it, then we can just probably concentrate more on these competitions. But the problem is injuries as well, as to why we probably aren't rotating a bit more in these games. But it would have been nice to maybe see Zidane, Bell, Manu come into the fold at some point in this game, but they weren't even along the substitutes bench. I'm not too sure what happened there, but we've got through anyway. That was the main aim of this, just to get the job done. Hopefully no more injuries and no more suspensions, because I think Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro were a yellow card away from missing the next round, which we didn't want any more of them. Casemiro's missed enough games through fucking suspension. We didn't want that. That was why I was worried about them two in the game, of getting a yellow card. But Manchester United luckily got through. The injury situation is the main focus from this game. I would have taken a 1-0 defeat if it meant not having any injuries over a 1 or 2-0 win and we get 2 or 3 injuries. But it looks like we haven't got any injuries, which is good to see for Manchester United. When we move on to the next round, I'm not too sure who there's a number of decent sides left in this competition. The likes of Juventus are still in it. Real Sociedad, who beat us at home, Old Trafford earlier in the season, are still in it. Arsenal are still in it. There's quite a lot of good sides still in it. So Manchester United have got their work cut out if they want to win this competition this year. It's not like it was when Manchester United won it under Jose Mourinho. We had a lot of shit teams we played along the way, I feel, to get into the final against Ajax that time. But I feel that some of these teams might be slightly harder this time. Well, certainly if we get Arsenal, that will be a stern test for Manchester United. We will just have to wait and see who we get in the next round. I would prefer the away game to be first, but I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to beat who you've got to beat. But this time around, it was the home game first, and we put up a hefty lead, which meant Manchester United were already through. We beat Pellegrini's side to knock them out. I mean, Manchester United have struggled against Spanish opposition over the past, so to be this comfortable when we haven't actually played well over the 2 games, I don't feel is good for Manchester United really. But I think that Manchester United have got to improve and play better than this in the coming weeks to continue winning, because I think that these didn't really offer enough in these 2 games in order to get through. I think they weren't that great themselves. So Manchester United, I feel like I've almost got through. But maybe it was the fact that even though Manchester United haven't looked that good, we still maybe made them look poor. I'm not too sure. It's a difficult one. Obviously there's 2 teams in a game of football. Sometimes it's not always, when a team hammers someone, it's not always the fact the other team are poor. It may be the other team's been good, but and vice versa. But Manchester United have got the job done. I mean, they did draw with Real Madrid the other week, 0-0, so they're not absolute mugs. I think they were 5th or 6th in the Spanish league, so they weren't absolute muppets, and we've still got to come away with a 5-1 aggregate win. So you can't really ask for no more than that, considering, as I say, we haven't been at 100% in this 2 legs to get through. I mean, the first half we were quite shit, to be honest, today, and it was just that hit and hope from Rashord really that's got Manchester United the win. You still like to always win these games of football, so I'm pleased with that. Obviously Sancho, it is a bit worrying that he didn't, as we talked about, didn't start this game, because Manchester United I mean, with a 4-1 victory at Old Trafford, were pretty much, in my opinion, through. And for him not to start this game and Pelestri starting ahead of him is a bit concerning for Sancho. It is, because I mean, big price tag, coming with a big reputation from Dortmund, and it hasn't really worked for Sancho I mean, it might be a number of reasons, we just don't know. He's had a lot of time out this season. Will Ten Hag persevere with him? That remains to be seen, because obviously other players, there's Garnacho coming through the Manchester United ranks who has looked good. I mean, Anthony has scored a few goals for Manchester United this season. He's been very hit and miss, Anthony, but he has scored a few goals, and he's brought him in knowing him before at Ajax, so he's not going to drop him. You wouldn't think. Ahmad will be coming back probably from Sunderland next year, so and maybe Manchester United will sign another wide player. We don't know. They're certainly going to sign a striker in the summer. So will Sancho's game time be even more limited next season? I mean, maybe he was saving him for that game at the weekend, because we don't know what the situation is with Anthony. I don't know if he's going to start him in that one. We will have to wait and see. Probably will, because Anthony's apparently been ill, so maybe he won't feature against Fulham on Sunday. And with Garnacho out as well, it would leave, you would think, Sancho and Rashford out wide, and Weghorst in the front line. But it is a bit thin up there. We're still without Anthony Martial as well, which we could, although I've not always been Anthony Martial's biggest fan, it would have been nice to have seen him get a run out this evening. Hopefully, if Manchester United can get a good win under their belt in the next round, maybe we could see him given an opportunity at some point, because we need all the players we can get. And I do feel Anthony Martial is a lot better player than Weghorst, and Weghorst probably would, if Anthony Martial could get a few games under his belt, would probably drop to the bench, and Anthony Martial would probably start for the remainder of the season, because we know he does have quality in him, and when he's played this season he has scored a decent amount of goals for the amount of game time he's played, but just not been able to stay fit this season. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. We're through to the next round. Not too sure when the cup draw is, but hopefully Manchester United get a nice draw with the away game first. That's what I would like, and then to bring the team back to Old Trafford. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in that comment section below. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, share the video if you're watching on Facebook, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.